Hey guys, we're back again. So my video, if you're seeing this, other video went live, the European one, check it out. I give them a rating. But now we're on to the big three. These are supposed to be the best cards that have ever come out on eFootball 2022 to 2024. Now, I promise you, I'm not going to waste your time. I'm going to tell you right now, if you're expecting me to tell you which one's the best, I can't tell you that. No, I can only tell you the best for each position. I'll tell you that. Now, let's go straight into the cards. World Cup Messi. I have all three. I've had them since November, I think, when they first came out. I've used all three. I can tell you what I want to change, what I don't like. I can tell you because I've had the cards, right, for a long time. And you guys know I'm a good dribbler. Don't want to toot my horn, but I'm a good dribbler. 2015 Messi, good card as well. 2009 Messi, good card as well. Now, before I tell you which one's which, there are 3 skills or 4 skills in my opinion, which are supposed to be on the cards without fail. One of them will be what's it called? Controversial. Some people will say, why put it, da 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 da. Again, I'm giving you my opinion. I've used these cards since November last year. I've used all 3 to the point where they all kind of have the same, what do you call it? The same number of games. 2009 Messi, as you can see, 222 games. Oh, sorry, 221 games, 104 goals, 35 assists. Again, I've used them. The 2015 Messi, I've used them. 383 games, I've used them. Other Messi, I've used them. Blah, 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 blah. But long story short, I've used them. Now, the reason why the 2015 Messi and the World Cup Messi are on my bench is because I need to retrain them. I haven't used them since, I don't know, since the last player reset. I haven't used them since then. The World Cup Messi I have used for a video I uploaded recently, the deep line forward one. I have used them. Yeah, so I use them sometimes if I really need them, but most times I stick with the 2009 one just because he has the skills. When I finally realized what skills they needed, I realized the 2009 Messi had all the skills properly assigned. Now, 4 skills which I recommend on all 3 Messis, but one of them controversial on the 2015 one. Depends on whether you want to listen to me or not. It's up to you. Now, 4 skills I highly recommend without any but why? I don't want to hear it. I'm giving you the skills that I think Messi needs 100%. If you want him to feel like Messi, these skills are non-negotiable. 1. Wait. It can be negotiable if you're new to the game. If you're new to the game, then one of the skills you might not know how to use. Fair enough. So that skill can be negotiable. But if you're not new to the game, you know the skill, you're Div 1, Div 2, Div 3, and you want something different from your Messi. You want something, new, like you want him to feel like Messi. These skills, you cannot not put them on. Number 1, acrobatic finishing. Acrobatic finishing, don't ask me why. We'll go into that later. Acrobatic finishing, number 1. Number 2, fighting spirit, 100%. Number 3, soul control. This skill, again, for the lower division people probably don't know how to use it. Soul control, don't know how to use it. We can bish bosh kind of go around that. Number 4, outside curler. A must. I don't care if the 2015 Messi has very high weak foot, slap it on. That's number 4. Number 5 is personal preference. This is where it comes to, but I'll explain that after. Let's just get those 4 skills across. Now, the World Cup Messi in strike is probably one of the most unique cards I've used on this game. 3 reasons. 1, the stats that were boosted made so much sense to the point where I felt it was cheating. The World Cup Messi, as a deep lying forward, you need a few things. You need very high ball control, tight possession, decent physical contact, good balance, and good passing, and obviously shooting will be nice, and so on. But the main thing, passing, tight possession, physical contact, balance, and then obviously the player's skills. Now, if leveled correctly, you can get at least 86 low passing on the 2000 on the World Cup Messi. You can get 103 tight possession, 103 dribbling, maybe even 104 tight possession on dribbling. Depends if you use possession, because there are some managers that give you a +1 boost on dribbling, tight possession or ball control on possession. But you can get 104 with Guardiola on tight possession. Now, he has the skills. He's got one touch, through passing, and as a deep line forward, he's got dipping shot, long range curler, long range shooting. That is great. That's incredible as a deep line forward. So he's got the skills. Great. Now, you might be asking me, why did I recommend outside curler? I will tell you right now, because a deep line forward, right? A deep line forward in this game is like, I'll play wherever I think the ball is going to end up. The deep line forward, he can be on the left side of the pitch. He can be on the right side of the pitch. He can be cam. He can be SS. He's just everywhere, right? And there are certain situations where the ball is on the left side of the pitch and I'm kind of cut inside, maybe with a double touch, a body feint. And now I'm like, I just need to shoot across goal. But if I finesse on the right, I'm not sure. But with outside curler, he uses the outside of the foot to finesse it. Whatever. And his weak foot usage is almost never. So that means there are certain situations where you think he's going to use the right foot, he uses the left. But just to be sure that he uses the left most of the time, I'd 100% recommend outside curler. That's why I recommended it. Then, Then the fifth skill, which I mentioned before, is personal preference. As a deep line forward, you could go weighted pass. You could go pinpoint crossing. I probably wouldn't do that. You could go rising shot, just for the rising shot. You could go what's the other one? Knuckle shot. I wouldn't put knuckle shot on. And you can probably go, I don't know, cut behind and turn. You could add a dribbling. You could add something, right? The fifth skill is up to you, in my opinion. For me, I'd go weighted pass. As a deep line forward, I'd go weighted pass as my fifth skill. Now, out of the box, if I was to tell you this, why I'd rate them out of the box, let me just go to the other screen. Out of the box, 2009 Messi out of the box as a right wing, as a striker, SS, and cam, I'll give you my rating. As a right wing, he is a solid 8. As a CF, probably 8.5. As a SS, probably from my opinion, probably a 7, maybe even a 6. As a cam, probably a 5. The 2015 Messi as a right wing, 8.5. As a SS, probably 8.5. As a cam, 8.5. As a CF, an 8. I probably wouldn't play him CF. You can play him CF, but I think SS is the best, in my opinion. And when I say SS, I mean SS in long ball counter, quick counter, possession. I think SS does the job most of the time in all three playstyles. But long ball counter, you don't really need to be an SS to. In long ball counter, there's no instruction. It doesn't work. They just run forward. So we know what you guys are. The World Cup Messi, CF 9, SS 9. Right wing, probably at 7.5 is average. He's okay. As a cam, probably a 7 as well. Now, with the skills I mentioned before, CF Messi, the World Cup Messi, probably a 9.5. SS, 9.5. With the 2015 Messi, right wing, solid 9. AMF, solid 9. No, actually, AMF 8.5 because he was already doing the stuff at AMF, so I'll give him 8.5 still. SS 9.5 and CF a 9, I guess. 2009 Messi right wing 9.5. A CF borderline 10. Just borderline 10. 9.5. We'll go 9.5 for now. SS still a 7.5. It didn't matter what skills I gave him. And AMF probably still a 7 or even a 6. Now, now that you know what skills I said are like mandatory, like 100% mandatory, now this is where the other skills come into play, which make them, for instance, the 2009 Messi go from a 9 to a 9.5 in strike, and so on. Now, the 2009 Messi, in my opinion, as a right wing, is a right wing, right mid as well. I tried him right mid. As you can see, I've given him the right mid, play style, or whatever skill position. He was okay, but he wasn't really playing like a right mid. But as a right winger, I think roaming flank is the hardest play style to man mark. Even if you man mark it, or tight mark is just insane. The amount of gaps they can create for your other players to exploit is pretty good, in my opinion. Now, he needed, in my opinion, area superiority. I was just trolling. I'll probably take it off, like I mentioned before. I'll probably put weighted or pinpoint crossing on. I don't know yet, or even another shooting trait. I might go. I don't know, but the reason why people are probably like, why the hell has he given him chip shot control? I'm telling you right now, this Messi does everything. But though I'd always felt there was one skill missing, and that was chip shot control. The other two Messis have chip shot control. There are certain situations where I'm one-on-one with the keeper, and for some reason, a lot of people right now are really bringing out their keepers now, and they're saving a lot more shots by bringing out their keepers. With delay and everything and blah, blah, blah. But when I try to chip the ball, I can tell the animation is missing. And I've been told chip shot control also helps with chipped through passes, whatever. I've been told that. I don't know if that's the case, but I noticed with chip shot control, I've added more. And because I mentioned before, like with a right wing forward, they kind of drift, cut inside a lot, and they're really hard to mark. And there's certain situations where I've been in that the right wing Messi should be chipping the keeper, but I noticed chip shot control was missing. So we threw that on, and it's been insane for me. And then acrobatic finishing, outside curler, fighting spirit, and then obviously this one has soul control by default, so it's pretty much been insane. I'll explain why I did fighting spirit and acrobatic finishing on all the Messis. I'll explain that towards the end. But remember, all the Messis need, so technically out of the box, with the 2015 Messi and the World Cup Messi, you only have one skill left. With the World Cup Messi, with the 2009, you have 2 skills left, because the 2009 Messi already had soul control, so you have 2 skills left. But me, I went chip shot, so I have 1 skill left, which would be, I put area superiority, but you can add something else. I just put area superiority to recreate the goal he scored, which was a troll, but I'm going to take that off. Now, so I said with all the Messis, fighting spirit, acrobatic finishing, soul control, and outside curler are a must. Soul control, I said, is a must for the more advanced players. But you guys know why soul control is recommended. I've mentioned it before. Soul control can be used for many things. It can be used to do knock-on finesses, knock-on dipping shots, knock-on long shots, knock-on crosses. It adds a bit of versatility when in terms of creating, because there's certain situations where, let's say now you dribble a lot of Messi and you're so predictable, but now you face a guy who maybe has a backline of 6 or something, and you need like something to create. You can knock it on to create space, because someone's gonna. I can just show you a clip actually. I think I scored a pretty good knock on recently actually. Is it this one? Yeah. So now I'll show you this clip right here, just a quick clip. This is with Iniesta. I'm sorry, with Xavi. You can use a knock-on first touch to take the ball away from the AI, as you saw here. I knocked it on away from whoever that is, and then I just shot, like, you know, a very good shot. So that's why I recommend knock-on, not just for the knock-on finesses, but as a first touch to sell your defender and as a way to do a pinpoint cross or or whatever, just to create space between you and the player. And also it goes hand in hand with cut behind and turn, the little left stick dribble where you can slightly roll your leg across the ball. Rockshot does it a lot. It helps in that as well. And double touch as well if you have flip flap. But I just want to say one thing. If you put flip flap on Messi, I'm judging you, by the way. If you want that just for that ball roll, double touch, I'm judging you. If you do that, I know what you are. But I've seen a couple people do it. But yeah, so you can do a lot of stuff with soul control. That's why I recommended on it to put on your Messis, because then it gives you something extra. Now, with acrobatic finishing, what acrobatic finishing does, it allows your player to take shots from awkward positions, or if your player's under pressure and you turn and shoot, it's most likely you're still able to get the shot off with the same vim or energy you had when you applied the shot. So if I go to acrobatic, think of acrobatic finishing as phenomenal finishing that's been washed, that's been watered down. If that makes sense. Think of it as that. So it's not just for accurate, it's not just for bicycle kicks and stuff. It's for, if I cut inside with Messi, which you're going to be doing 9 times out of 10 because you're Messi, right? You want to recreate Messi. You want to feel like Messi. You're going to be cutting in 9 times out of 10. If you cut in and shoot, that's already an awkward position or an off-balance shot, because you've cut in to create a weird angle for you to finesse. That's already an awkward position. That is acrobatic finishing as it is. In this game, that's what it means. And if you're dribbling with Messi, which you are going to be most times, you're going to be dribbling, someone's going to put pressure on you, he's going to force you wide, and you need to get a shot off or a chip or whatever. If someone's forced you wide, that's an awkward position. That's where acrobatic finishing comes in. Now, that's skill number 1 that I recommend. Now, skill number 2, which I recommend, no, number 3, sorry, which was fighting spirit. Fighting spirit allows your player to perform under pressure and fatigue, as well as adversity. Now, under pressure and fatigue is where the fighting spirit really comes into play, because your Messi could be out of stamina, but with fighting spirit, he's still able to turn, pass, and get, animations off, which he would do if he still had stamina, while he doesn't have stamina. And then under pressure means, so like if you're getting pressed by a Puyol, a Davids, an Iniesta, a Maldini, and you're trying to dribble, you can still dribble. You feel the pressure, don't get me wrong. You will, if you have vibration on your controller, you probably feel you're getting barged off the ball. You can tell when you're getting barged off the ball. But there are certain situations where you've been under pressure and then you get a shot off and it still goes in. That would be fighting spirit coming into play, as well as acrobatic finishing. That's why I recommended those two, because those two will go hand in hand in the final third. That's kind of crazy. So that's why I recommended fighting spirit and acrobatic finishing as the 2 most important skills that are non-negotiable. 100%, whether you're a noob, whether you've been playing the game for years, those 2 are like non-negotiable for me. They should 100% always be on your Messi. Again, just, Messi has low stamina, so he runs out of stamina quickly. So it makes sense to have fighting spirit on it. And then again, with acrobatic finishing, that's a deadly combo. Then it's even more of a deadly combo if you have soul control for like the knock-on pinpoint, whether you do a cut behind and turn as a first touch, whether you do double touch, whether you do any form of skill that benefits from soul control, because there are a lot of skills that benefit from soul control. I'm not going to go into the detail. I'll probably make another video on that. But if you do a knock-on and you do a finesse, anything with a knock-on is already a acrobatic shot, if you want to claim it like that. But it's pretty much goated in my opinion. Now, this is a very controversial skill. Outside curler. Outside curler works on, and there was a patch recently that lets you do outside the foot passes now. Lets you do outside the foot, like first time passes. There's a lot of outside the foot stuff going on right now that people haven't really noticed, but you probably notice it if you paid attention and watch your videos back. But now, outside curler is literally, you can't go wrong with outside curler. Now, I get asked, why would you put outside curler on Messi when he has very high weak foot? Now, good question. Messi's weak foot usage is rarely, which means he rarely uses his weak foot. He'd only use the weak foot if he's forced to use it. Because I've seen streamers, I've seen streamers and players say, why is Messi using his left foot there? Why not use his right foot? Or why is Messi using his right foot, not his left foot? It's literally the weak foot usage. You have to look at these things. Now, with this Messi, his weak foot usage is rarely, which means he rarely uses the weak foot. So there are certain situations where you think, oh, he's got very high weak foot, he's going to use his weak foot and shoot from here. No. It means if he does use the weak foot, whatever he was doing on his left foot, he can do as well on his right foot. So if he was doing crazy finesses on the left foot, he's going to do crazy finesses on the right foot. If he was doing weighted passes on the left foot, expect him to do crazy weighted passes on the right foot. But how he uses it is situational, the right foot. But just to be safe, 9 times out of 10, to use the left foot, I highly recommend outside curler. One, outside curler shots, like for finesses, if you hold R1, if you're a normal controller, R1, it will do an outside curler. For shooting, there are certain situations, if you're on pass support 3, his outside the foot is one of the best outside the foot things I've seen on this game. Like anything passes, crosses, shots and stuff. So pass support 3 really benefit from outside curler. Highly recommend that. But in terms of shooting, just to be on the safe side, outside curler is a must on Messi. I don't care if he's got very high weak foot. If I don't see occasionally or regularly as a weak foot usage, don't even bother. Then you can say, okay, cool, I might not use outside curler. But even me, my Neymar has regular weak foot usage and I still gave him outside curler. Because outside curler has one of the best animations on this game. If someone uses outside curler, just know whoever you pass to, that pass is going there. Outside curler, in my opinion, is one of the best. So I'd always put it on. And then, and I can't remember what the last skill was. I've already gone through them, the 4 skills, right? Then the Messi, I'd recommend the last skill. I said probably pinpoint crossing, or if you're playing in right wing, pinpoint crossing with very high weak foot could be crazy. You know what I mean? Or you can go some extra shooting. You can go shoot something like rising shot. You can go. Then me personally, I'd probably go cut behind and turn. Cut behind and turn with soul control. I did mention that could be a really nasty combo. You can go captaincy if you notice. Maybe I'd say keep the last slot available, just in case like there's something that you'd benefit from with the skill. But those 4 skills I mentioned before are a must, in my opinion. The same thing goes for the 2009 outside curler, 100%. As you can see, his weak foot usage is almost never, and he's got high weak foot. So outside curler is a must. If you're chipping on the right foot, could go in, but outside curler is a must on this one, because then I know he's going to use outside the foot most of the time, if not all the time. So outside curler on this Messi, acrobatic finishing, fighting spirit, and then obviously I went chip shot because I knew there was something missing, and chip shot was what was missing. And since then, he's been a beast. 5th skill, you can go weighted pass because this one doesn't have it. You can go pinpoint crossing if you want to. I went aerial just for the banter, but I would like to change it to weighted pass because I have noticed weighted pass is missing on this Messi. Again, World Cup Messi, same thing. almost never. He rarely uses the weak foot. I think I told Rock has this Messi, this World Cup Messi, and he's got outside curler on this Messi, and he's loving it. So outside curler, I'd recommend. Soul control, I said as well. It adds versatility to your game. Acrobatic finishing, fighting spirit, non-negotiable. So you've got one skill left. Again, you could go as a deep line forward. Me personally, I'd go weighted pass as the 5th skill. But like I said, you can try him out. And then if you notice there's a skill you want to add as the 5th skill, you could probably do that. But yeah. Now, in terms of overall rating, in my opinion, I'll rate them in terms of noob friendly, experience, and like expert. I'd say if you're noob friendly, if you're new to the game, I'd say the 2015 Messi is very noob friendly. You don't need to be good to use him. You can play him in cam, you can play him right wing, you can play him SS, you can play him CF, you can play him on long ball counter, you can play him quick counter, you can play him on possession. He does that, right? He's very, I'll say he's an all-rounder, this 2015 Messi. Now, the other two Messis are more refined. And when I mean more refined, I mean to the point where that once you know what you're looking for, those two Messis fill in that gap. They're very kind of system-based players, right? The right wing, the roaming flank Messi, his playstyle is roaming flank, which means it's only registered, I think, in right mid, right wing. That's the only time his playstyle is active. And in my opinion, the best place to play him is right wing or CF, not SS. SS is one of the worst. And I'd say once you're familiar with the game, you know what to do, and you've given him the skills I mentioned before, in strike, this Messi could be one of the best strikers in the game, in my opinion. Right wing could be crazy. It's even crazy there as well. Again, on right wing, he's the hardest player, in my opinion, in this game to mark, because roaming flank is the hardest playstyle to man mark. So if you really want to abuse Messi, I'd put him in the top right corner of your screen as a right winger. No instructions. Don't put counter target. He doesn't need it. Just put him right winger. If you've put the skills I mentioned in this video, just slap him in right wing, and he's gonna be the most difficult player to man mark, because your defenders on the opponent's defenders is gonna have to fully focus on that Messi. And if you have an attacking fullback next to him, it's literally gonna be a headache. And then at CF, he's quick, he's strong, he's got heading. And then he was just missing outside curler and chip shot, and obviously fighting spirit and acrobatic finishing. And mate, he's one of the best strikers I've used in the game. Now, the World Cup Messi, in my opinion, as a CF, is up there. Again, I think this Messi is the most complex Messi to use out of the three. But if you know the game, if you're very technical, like you know how to shield, you know how to pass, you know how to shoot, you're very technical with the game, this Messi might be the best Messi in the game. This World Cup Messi will be the best Messi in the game as a striker. Because one, as a deep line forward, you are playing him as a cam, a second striker, and a striker all in one position. And when I mean when I mean technical as well, is then now you need to know what formation to use, what playstyle to use. In long ball counter, I probably wouldn't recommend him. Quick counter, you could get away with it. Possession players will love this Messi. So then again, it depends on what playstyle you use. You can use him in a 4-3-3 or 4-4-2. I've noticed him in CF in any of those positions. Kind of crazy. I've made a deep line forward video. It was crazy there. You can probably go check it out. Oh yeah, and then the 2009 Messi, he works in any playstyle. Quick counter, long ball counter, quick count, and possession, he works. But yeah, so I'll repeat again. The 2015 Messi is the most noob-friendly Messi there is. He works on any team playstyle. He works in any position. And from cam to right wing to SS to CF. I think his best position is SS. Some people disagree. personal preference. The 2009 Messi, that's when we're moving out of the noob territory. We're moving into, I know what I want from a right winger. I know, you know what I mean? That's we're moving into that territory. So the right winger one, I highly recommend if you're in that category. So if you're on quick counter possession, and long ball counter, I recommend sticking him in the top right corner of your screen as a right winger or a centre forward. I think that's the centre forward Messi. That 2009 Messi in centre forward is kind of crazy, I won't lie. Then now the World Cup Messi, we've now moved away from noob to I know what I'm doing to like this guy is the main person in my team. The World Cup Messi, you have to take into, if you play this Messi, that means you're accepting the fact that he is the main guy in your team. So everything in build up goes through that Messi. He starts the attack. Most likely, he's the guy who scores the goal in the end. That's this Messi. So if you're experienced, an expert at the game, I'd probably say this Messi is the best Messi there is out of the three. If you're that technical, however, the other two Messis are just as good, but you know, there's levels to the game, right? The pitch is ours. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Peace.